Morgen. Today we are going to do an unbiased gear review on this, the Siggi Braun Fafnyr. So as with the previous Siggi that we reviewed, this Siggi Braun comes with a certificate / spreadsheet that has all of the nice little appointments and specifications that come with this guitar. So what we are looking at here, we have a beautifully figured white Limba body with a one-piece flame maple top. I'm going to show you that actually so you can get a really good look at it. It has this really well done inlay of a dragon on the front. We have a 5-piece maple and Kambala neck with a Pao Ferro fingerboard. We have Sperzel locking tuners. We have a multiscale fan fret design that is basically 25.5 inches to 26.5 inches. We have a single BareKnuckle Holy Diver humbucker and a single master volume knob. So let's do this. Round 2 of the Siggi Brauns that they were so gracious to send me. This is the Fafnyr body style. It's a little bit different than the Little Crow of the last video. It also does not have the same neck joint of the Little Crow, which is a little bit of a bummer. That's one of the things I really liked about the Little Crow, was that it had that kind of proprietary neck joint design that Siggi himself came up with. This one's a little bit more of a traditional bolt-on design with kind of an all-access neck heel to it. Bolted on with 5 bolts. The neck could be a little bit tighter to the body. There's definitely a little bit of a gap here and a gap there. That's kind of one of the only things you can call out about this instrument, though. So let's move on to some of the other finer things. One of the things you guys know I treat with utmost concern every time I pick up an instrument is the fretwork. This is super duper nice. I really liked the fretwork on the Little Crow. Dare I say it, this might even be just a little bit nicer to me. The crowning is beautiful. The frets are very, very large, very rounded. The crowning is very nice. There's not a bit of fret buzz all along this thing. The fret dressing, the fret edges, is so nice. There again, we've got a very, very nice rolled off edge of the fretboard, but the fret ends themselves are just looking gorgeous. There's like one little rough spot on the 23rd fret, and that is it. Everything else is perfectly flush, perfectly rounded, perfectly comfortable. I love it. This neck is an absolute joy to play, partially because of the fretwork, partially because this has a little bit thinner of a neck profile than the previous Siggi that we reviewed. Being that it's a 7-string, it's also very, very befitting of the fact that it's an extended range guitar, that it has a thinner neck profile to make it just a little bit easier to get acclimated to it. The neck is very nice. It looks a little weird when you first look at it because it almost looks like it's jutting out on the sides there, but really it's just perfectly flush, and it's meant to kind of follow the lines of the neck going up to the headstock right there. Pretty cool. The headstock is an interesting design. It does have a cap on it that kind of matches the one-piece flame maple of the body top. The tuners themselves are recessed. And also you got some really great straight string pull there, which definitely lends itself to tuning stability for sure. The truss rod cover is wooden, so that it kind of goes with the overall very, very woody aesthetic of the instrument, which is pretty cool. The Pao Ferro Fretboard has a nice lighter tint to it, which kind of also matches the overall vibe of the guitar. Let's talk about this beautiful one-piece flamed maple top. It is not book matched, and it is also a little bit different. Normally you see the flames going out to the sides from this angle right here, but with this, it's almost as if kind of right here would have been where the top would have been book matched, and it's just flowing out from there. Lends me to think this might just be from a very, very large, beautifully figured maple tree, but it looks so good. The Muddy Waters paint scheme that was used looks so damn good on this thing. Speaking of aesthetics, let's talk about the inlay. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at the inlay and go, nah, not for me, nah, it's tchotchke, whatever. It does have an acquired taste to it. It does have a certain clientele that caters to, but look over this inlay and you can tell this was expertly done all the same. Even if it's not for you, you can't help but look at it and go, my God, this is just gorgeous inlay work. Everything is pristine. There's a few seams that you can find here, but rub your hand over them. They are perfectly smooth. I have looked over this inlay at great length, and I cannot find any filler, any epoxy, anything like that. This is just damn near, if not absolutely perfectly executed inlay work. Moving on to the bridge. The bridge is a fan fret single saddle design on a back plate. It almost looks as if the back plate to the bridge was custom made for this instrument. It does have a little bit of a hump in the middle, so to speak, so it's not sitting quite flush with the instrument. Now, that being said, I can probably understand why that exists from a functional standpoint. It's because it's meant to make the saddles kind of match the radius of the fretboard a little bit better. One other thing that was also a little bit concerning is the placement of the strap button right on top there. For those of you that know my pain, I have dropped many guitars off of the strap over the years, and it would have been a lot better if I would have had better strap placement, or maybe a locking strap button that was already implemented into the instrument. In this particular case, I would have probably just loved it if maybe the strap button was underneath or along the back, so that it would maybe balance a little bit more, and if I wouldn't have been so worried as to put this on a strap. As it stands, I didn't even put it on a strap because I just didn't even want to chance it. One final thing that I would also call out, and this also kind of goes to my desire for this thing to have had a carved top to it, it is a little bit thinner of a body. Now, this is just a personal thing, but the way I play guitar usually is here in the studio. I'm resting the guitar on my knee, playing it in the classical position, so to speak. And there was quite a few times where I'd be recording and the guitar would just kind of be sliding a little bit. And I feel like if the guitar was a little bit thicker, or if maybe the bevels on the bottom weren't as pronounced, that might not have been the case. Those few things are the only things I would really call out about the instrument. The instrument itself is masterfully crafted. The finish work, gorgeous. The fretwork, gorgeous. The inlay work, gorgeous. The choice of the appointments on this guitar, fantastic. It plays like a fucking dream. It was literally one of those things where once I got some new strings on it and just started jamming, this thing just came to life, man. It's one of those instruments that's kind of impossible to put down. You absolutely don't want to stop playing it, and ultimately, isn't that what you want from an instrument that commands this kind of price tag? Exactly. You want an instrument that you get strictly just to play the hell out of it. You know, you just want to play your ass off, write as many great tunes as you can, and never put this sucker down. I think this very much succeeds in that. Absolutely inspiring instrument. Now, as far as how this thing sounds, man, this is one of those things that was contributing to that X factor I was talking about earlier, about the fact that you can't put this guitar down. Not only does it play absolutely phenomenal, but plug this sucker in, and it is one of the most awesome sounding instruments I've played in recent memory. Some of you guys will know from talking to me online or from watching some of my previous videos, I am not a fan of bare-knuckle pickups. That being said, credit where it's due. This pickup absolutely effing kills. This Holy Diver pickup sounds phenomenal in this instrument. The combination of the white Limba on the back, you know, the brightness of the maple top. You've got a fretboard that darkens it up just a little bit like rosewood, but not quite. This thing just exudes great metal tone. The Holy Diver, it is a little bit more articulate of a pickup, like most bare knuckles tend to be, and as a result, they do sacrifice a little bit of tone for the sake of that articulation. However, with the Holy Diver, I don't feel like I'm hearing it quite as much. I'm hearing a lot more oomph, a lot more balls in this tone, and it just really sounds super great. Play all the metal riffage you want on this thing, and it just... you know what, I'm going to shut up and I'm just going to play. I mean, damn, how can you not love that? It sounds so meaty, it sounds so ballsy. The the inlay work notwithstanding, the inlay would probably lead you to believe that this thing is more geared towards, dad rock a little bit, maybe classic metal, maybe power metal. But god damn, this guitar is like one of those perfect instruments for like the super brutal end of the spectrum. But even so, as you can tell with a super saturated tone like this, you can still just strum the entire thing and you hear every note just super clear. I'm a little bit in awe of how awesome this thing sounds, honestly. So, to be honest, this is another fucking winner from Siggi Braun. 2 for 2 on awesome instruments that I've reviewed. Yeah, this one had a few things that just personally were not necessarily for me. I can actually let the Dragon inlay go. It's an aesthetic touch. I think it's exceptionally well done. Might not be necessarily my cup of tea most days of the week, but dude, for how fucking awesome this instrument plays, for how incredible it sounds, whatever, it's an inlay, get over it. But goddamn, like this instrument is kind of an example of what you really ought to get from luthiers when you're spending that kind of change on it. You ought to get an instrument that has some pretty flawless execution all the way up and down from the end of the headstock to the end of the body. And it should have features and playability that just leave you breathless. And this kind of does. It's an absolutely fantastic piece. I'm going to be very, very sad to send it back. Definitely, if you ever have a chance to check out Siggi Braun, please, please do so. Because 2 for 2 on the instruments that I've reviewed, plus the instruments I checked out at NAMM last year, I couldn't be happier. These things are fantastic. So I know what you're saying. You're saying, Arnold, why are you drinking at 11:30 in the morning? Well, it's because it's my day off. But what you're actually asking is, what am I drinking? Well, I am drinking from the brewery. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, but when you spell it like that, that's how I'm going to say it. So, from the brewery, this is the Ruminator. It is a Doppelbock lager that is aged in oak barrels. This Doppelbock is, if I remember right, 10%? Yeah, 10% ABV. This is the 2016 edition, so it should be nicely aged by now. Ooh. Very rich caramel color. Ooh, wow. Super boozy scent. As you saw, a teeny tiny little bit of a creamish tan head, but it's already dissipated. Very boozy. Little bit of like bread in there. Caramel, malts. Just a solid Doppelbock. And the fact that this is nicely aged for more than a year definitely kind of smooths out the booziness a little bit, and you can actually taste the beer past the booze, which is great. Yeah, this is solid. This is something that I would definitely share with friends for sure. It's really delicious. This instrument, as of the publishing of this video, is currently for sale at Red Dragon Guitars in the Carolinas. Please, like I said, give a like to Siggi Braun on Facebook. Check him out on Twitter. And if you ever have a chance to play one of these guitars, definitely do so. But yeah, leave a comment in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you guys thought. And yeah, lots of more kick-ass videos to come. Please stay tuned for more awesomeness.